Hello, music ed students. This is Professor Rolthrock. It's Saturday morning and I'm trying to get caught up with a bunch of things. I just finished looking at your discussion posts for the week. And I thought they were quite good for the first time around, although I did want to say a few things. And that is, I like the number of the posts that you did. It looks like you all did an initial post, which was great. And then you all responded to, most of you did 3 people, some of you did more than that, and that was great. So I want you to keep up with the kinds of posts that you're doing initially, but in your responses, I want you to do the same number of them. You don't need to do any more than you're doing as long as you're all doing 3 at least. But the content of those, I would like us to get away from just saying, oh yeah, that's great, I like that you said this. We all kind of have that sort of initial impression, I think, when we're reading a lot of the posts. But in our responses, can we make them something a little bit more substantial? And by that I mean not just being in agreement, and we don't all have to agree, I want to make that clear too. We can disagree, and that is fine. I like to play devil's advocate every now and then. But when we're doing that, let's make it a very kind of well-researched response, in that you're not just pulling information from the book, but you're actually looking at some outside resources and bringing those into the discussion as well. I tried to do that this time around. I didn't do it with a lot of concrete text or journal articles. We'll get to that soon. But if you've got any personal anecdotes, personal experiences, some of you are starting to bring those in to the discussion. But again, we're all kind of in agreement with everything right now, and we don't have to be. And then, one little bit about psychomotor movement. A lot of people were talking about tapping their feet to the beat, or tapping, clapping the beat and that sort of thing. And I just want to point out one very quick thing here. Those are very kind of normal ways of learning how to identify a pulse and that sort of thing. But with a lot of psychomotor movement, the thing that is most effective is actually using the torso more than we probably did when any of us have gone through any elementary classes. So if you tap the beat on your lap, or you're tapping it on the floor, which you may or may not be able to see right now because of the camera angle, but when you're tapping your foot that way, it's very far away from your core, from your heart and chest and lungs and that sort of thing. So anytime you ask someone to think about tapping a beat, have them do it on their chest, on their collarbone, somewhere close to their heart, because I think you'll find that it works much more effectively, and that's only because of the proximity to kind of that large cavity in our lungs where we can kind of feel the pulse kind of resonating within your own body. Whereas when you kind of tap on the table or something hard that's very far away from your body, you're kind of less inclined to internalize that pulse. So just think about that when we're talking about all this psychomotor stuff. That's just something I wanted to throw out that's not in your book, but something that I've found to be very effective. And then, this is just kind of a public service announcement. I know we have our first Saturday meeting 1 week from today. So when we meet, which will be in the Fine Arts Building on the Inver campus, make sure that you bring your recorders. They should have been part of what you purchased at the bookstore if you got your text and other supplies there. If you don't have a recorder, I don't think I have one around now. Any little $5 plastic soprano recorder about this high with the bigger holes cut out would be great. Can be used, whatever you can get your hands on, that's fine. We will use them a little bit on that Saturday first meeting. So make sure you bring those. And then finally, somebody mentioned in their post today that I read, they said all music has an affect in nature, or has affective nature. And I thought that was a really great comment. It's not something that I'm totally sure I agree with, but it really got me thinking about some things. So I'm gonna play an interesting piece of music for you next Saturday when we meet as a group for the first time. So I just kind of I think it was Sheila. I just wanted to thank her for bringing that up and kind of getting my brain going. So we'll be doing some very interesting stuff next Saturday. I think that's all for now. I hope you have a great weekend. Everybody should be working on those quizzes. I think most of you are getting those started, at least I saw that kind of showing up in my D2L. But that's it for now. Have a good week, and feel free to page me, email, phone, whatever. Any way you can get a hold of me if you need to reach me. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.